Hi everybody, my name is Johnny Nero and welcome back to the Hero of Kendrickstone. Last time with Hero of Kendrickstone, what were we doing? We sat down with Duke Leofric. I'm just seriously trying to remember what the hell happened now. Duke Leofric, and we made the decision to I can't remember what decision we made. To be fair. It's been a long time. I have slept since then. We'll find out. This has been the rest of the day in preparation. You test your weapons, clean them. I don't have many weapons. I have fucking staff. I test my staff. I clean my staff. You test your weapons, then clean them, and then test and clean them again. You look over the contents of your pack, and then you do it all again. You won't be able to afford failure, which means you can't afford to have your equipment fail you. By the time you are done, it is already dark and your stomach is rumbling. You eat a quick meal and go to bed. That does not shed much light on what we did last time. I can't remember. Because I remember we had three choices. The three main characters in the game. The Duke. No, the Mage, the Grand Mage, the Knight, and that underworld crime guy. They all had three ideas, and then the Duke had a fourth idea. And I seem to remember that we couldn't do the Mage's one because we have like naff all magic, and we couldn't do the Duke's one because it was pretty dumb. I think we ended up going with the Knight's one. We'll find out. Because I can't remember, but we'll do it. We'll find out. You go to bed thinking of your year in Kendrickstone. You think of your successes and your failures. Not every adventure has gone smoothly, and you haven't won every battle, but that just makes the ones you have prevailed in all the brighter. You think of the heroic reputation you have made for yourself in the great city, a city whose survivors now look to you to save them. Ooh, that's bad. If you're looking at me to save you, then you better fucking run, because that's not good. You think of what little money you have left, you're no richer now than when you arrived. You think of all these things, weighing your successes against your failures. Will you be ready for the greatest challenge of your life? Eventually, you fall sound asleep, confident that the answer is yes. Oh God, I hope so. The final battle! Woo! It's done, we've come so far, guys. Come on, let's do this. Chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, a final battle. Oh my God. You keep yourself low in the brush as you creep closer to the man standing not 30 paces away from you. You take care not to move too carelessly or breathe too heavily. Even the slightest sign could give you away, and if the bandit sentry you are stalking gives the alarm, your life will likely get very uncomfortable very quickly. Armed with the court wizard's assurances of the location of the bandit camp, you set out early that morning to take a bandit prisoner. That is why you're here, hidden in the forest underbrush, just out of sight of the archers on the walls, trying to keep ever closer to the black-clad man ahead, so that you just might take him alive. The most obvious approach would be to simply sneak in as close as possible and overpower him, but that would mean getting within arm's reach without being detected, not exactly an easy task. Alternatively, you could try luring the bandit closer somehow, getting him to move within reach instead of the other way around. So what's the plan? Do we have... let's have a look at some stats, man. We don't want to get this wrong. Prowess is good, man. Expert. Subterfuge is lackluster and eloquence is average. Shit. We're gonna lure the bandit. You think about what to say to lure the bandit out. The key here is to get him close without arousing his suspicions too much. If you don't get his attention, the ruse won't work, but if you say something too incongruous or suspicious, he'll catch on to what you're doing. After a moment, though, you go for it. Hey, you whisper, come here for a second. The guard turns towards you. What? Dring? What? Who's there? He calls out, his voice strangely cold. One of you? You reply, not sure exactly where this is going. Guards in the stories usually get fooled far easier than this. The bandit seems to catch on to what's really going on, and almost immediately he storms forward, drawing his sword. With his suspicions raised and his mind alert, he finds you in only a moment. Intruder! He shouts, pointing his sword directly at you. Help! Intruder in the forest! Well, that's not good. Oh, Johnny, you fucking penis. The next moment you are running back into the forest, as fast as your legs will carry you. Arrows fly past you, making you want to run all the faster. Thankfully none of them hit you. Perhaps you've run too fast for them to draw a bead. You don't hear any footsteps following you when you finally slow to catch your breath, but that doesn't mean you are out of danger. Thoughts race through your mind as you stumble back onto the road and begin your frantic retreat back to the city. What if the bandits are even now sending a force to cut you off? Even worse, what if they decide to tighten their security and increase their vigilance to prevent further intrusions? I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! I'm good. Your errant thoughts haunt you all the way back to the city and do little for your confidence. Still, you have no time to dwell on your failures. You only have time for a quick meal and to inform the Duke's Knights that it's time to move. What? Serious? Did I go home and have a quick meal? After all this is... Oh, fuck. Even without the prisoner's aid, you still need to face Milius Blackclad and put an end to his bandit army once and for all. Or die trying. 10. 6. 8. Fuck. 9. I know Roman numerals. It's not until dawn that knights are ready to ride out atop their great chargers, clad in their shining mail, their swords at their sides, and pennons flying. It is an inspiring sight to be sure. The few people still willing to cheer their departure seem rejuvenated, just a little, by this last throw of the dice. You ride in the centre, protected by the knights. When you reach the forest, the knights dismount and tie up their horses. Dame Mildred walks up to you, helm tucked under her arm. From here we proceed on foot. We should be able to reach the bandit camp by midday, if the mage's assurances are worth anything. You dismount and tie up your horse. Dame Mildred and the dozen other knights in the Duke's service, including the now recovered Sir Edmund, stand ready behind her. If you have any last questions before proceeding into the forest, now is the time. What do we ask, man? Why aren't we waiting until nightfall? What's the plan, or who's in command? What's the plan? The knight shrugs. Same as before. You will take the lead, and we'll follow as far behind as we can, while still remaining in contact with you. That means we should be out of sight and earshot of any bandits you might run into. The last thing we want them to do is catch on that you're leading us to their camp. That makes sense. After all, as harmless as you might personally look to a gang of armed bandits, you certainly look threatening with a dozen armoured knights right behind you. If you make contact with any bandit sentries or patrols, the knight continues, make sure you don't let them run back to their camp to sound the alarm. Get us... Yeah, because that totally fucking went well the first time we tried, just about 5 seconds ago. Get us within sight of the camp itself, and we'll take care of the rest. Simple enough? Simple enough. The knight nods back. Good. Who's in command? So we do have to ask all the questions. I hate when this happens. The knight looks back over her shoulder. The flip-flops are in command. I don't just my flip-flops are over. Yes, I wear flip-flops. Don't judge me. Come on, Knights of Kendrickstone swear an oath not to take any orders not issued by the Duke himself, or someone appointed as his agent. Well, crap, you can see where this is going. Let me guess, you reply. His Grace didn't appoint one. Duke Leofric is an old man, Dame Mildred replies. The time was short. It must have slipped his mind. You shake your head incredulously. So who's in charge? The knight chews her lip in thought for a moment. His Grace let you pick the plan, and you already bear the most responsibility. She looks up at you and utters the most terrifying words you've heard all year. I guess you are. Woo! We're in charge! That's not terrifying. That's fucking awesome! Half an hour later, you are forging deep into the forest. The bandit camp shouldn't be much farther now. You keep an eye out for bandit sentries and patrols, for part of your mind still dwells on the parting words Dame Mildred offered you before you stepped into the forest. I know you can do this, she said. Just follow your instincts and don't do anything I wouldn't do. With those words of encouragement, she patted you on the shoulder and sent you on your way. She's still behind you with the rest of the knights. You can barely see them through the faint sound of their mail. Rattling reminds you that they're still fewer than 100 paces to your rear. Then you see them. They're right ahead of you, a bandit patrol of perhaps a half a dozen men and women, all armed. You signal the knights behind you to stop and take cover. Now you need to get the patrol out of the way before they spot the knights and report back to their camp. What's the plan? Well, I can't create a distraction with my magic. Bluff the patrol, I distract the patrol by attacking them. Well, how could... I'm not gonna... Yeah, that one. Let's face it, subtlety isn't exactly your strong suit, yes. True that. You ready your staff and rush forward through the underbrush. The bandits see you coming almost immediately. One levels a loaded crossbow in your direction, while the others draw swords, daggers, hatchets, and maces. Hearing the twang zip of a fired crossbow, you deftly step to the side and duck low. The bolt whizzes over your head to embed itself into a tree behind you. Then you are within reach of your foes. As the bandits attack, you fend them off as best you can, concentrating on keeping the darting blades and careening mace heads away from you as much as possible. After a few moments, you see an opening and dart out of the reach of your black-clad foes. You stumble a little on the uneven ground, but you find your feet fast enough to take off into the forest. Now all they need to do is follow you, and you can lead them off on a merry chase away from the knights hiding not 100 paces away. Problem is, they don't. You turn back to find the bandits still holding in place in a loose defensive formation around their crossbowman, as he goes through the laborious process of reloading his weapon. Now what? Oh shit. Oh shit. I taunt the bandits. You don't need the bandits to fight, you just need them to follow. What better way to get that than to make them too angry to think straight? Hey, you stinking half-wits, you shout. Come and fight me! The bandits stay still, unfazed. The one with the crossbow keeps loading his weapon. What, are you scared? You shout. Are you afraid of me, you dumb oxen? Still nothing. The crossbow is almost fully cocked now. This isn't working. You need to think of something else. I'm going back! We're going back! You turn back and rush into the midst of the enemy again. This time you fight more aggressively. With a deft step you avoid the thrust of a bandit dagger, only to step into the guard of one of your black-clad foes. You thrust the end of your staff into the knife woman's belly, leaving her doubled over as you dance away. Dancing away. Fucking what? Again you dart in, too agile to be caught by the bandit's clumsy strikes. You wound another bandit, this time with a hard blow to the crossbowman's wrist. Yes! Now the bandits begin to swarm. You back out of reach again and your foes rush forward. Good, they'll follow you this time. You run once again. Take off into the forest, running as fast as you can, weaving around trees and low bushes until finally you simply turn around the tree trunk and hide as the bandits charge blindly past you. From there, it's simple enough to quietly circle back to where the Duke's knights still wait for you. A few minutes later, you are leading the knights forward once again, when you finally see the bright sunlit stones of the ancient magic circle. The bandit camp is huddled under its shadow, not 50 paces away. You head back into the knights, hoping none of the bandits' sentries in the camp's entrance have seen you. We're here, you report to Dame Mildred. She responds with a twitch of a smile and a brusque nod. Well done, Johnny Nero. Well done, Johnny Nero. Your part in this is finished. It is our turn now, she says, with a hint of a hunter's grin. Alright, I'll stay here. I'll come with you. I'm not letting you fight this battle without me. The knight frowns. Is that wise? She asks. I'm technically in command, right? Don't I have a right to see this to the end? You reply. Dame Mildred sighs and nods. So be it. Stay behind our shields and don't do anything stupid. You follow Dame Mildred, joining up with the rest of the knights as they slowly creep up to the tree line. Ready? Mildred whispers as you get into position. We're ready. Yes, totally. Whispered it. You nod. As one, the knights straighten to their full heights, shrugging off their long brown riding cloaks and draw their swords. Even in the spotty light of the forest, the weapons glitter ominously. Together you advance in a slow walk over the uneven forest floor until the knights before you stand arranged in a line of mail and drawn blades. You cannot help but realize that the knights you are commanding are far better equipped for the straight-up slugging match to come than you are. I got my stick. I'll be alright. No time for that now, though. Now there is only the last dozen paces to... what is wrong with me? Now there is only the last 24 paces to cover to try to get to the bandit camp. Enough space for one great charge, ready to be unleashed by the cry of Kendrickstone! A dozen voices are raised in unison as you rush forward, carried along by the tide of steel. The bandits have all the advantages: numbers, a fortified position, bows, crossbows, but that is not nearly enough against the knights of Kendrickstone. Within moments, the first of the mail-clad soldiers are through the open entrance to the bandit camp, sweeping the black-clad guards at the gate with blows of their oxen shields. Arrows and bolts fly from every direction, only to bury themselves in wooden shields or bounce off the hardened steel of great helms. Like a perfectly crafted machine, the armoured warriors rush forward, some down through the main passages of the tent-clad camp, others sweeping along the walls, downing archers with effortless ease. Some strike to kill, while others use the bosses of their shields or the pommels of their swords to give their hapless foes a chance to survive. Shouldn't be doing that. Kill everyone, man. With the space of a few moments, the camp is almost secure. The bandits are either dead or unconscious, victims of a whirlwind of bright steel. Closing cordon of drawn blades surrounds the last holdouts, among them Milius Blackclad himself. The last few bandits are swept away by one final rush. Thunder crashes, and one of the knights is flung backwards, the sword dropping from his convulsing fingers. Then another rushes in. With a mighty blow from his shield, he sends the wizard reeling backward. right into you. Now's my chance, I bring him down for good. I'm not letting him live after all he's done. Now's my chance, I bring him down for good. Flah! You raise your staff high and bring it down on the staggering mage's head. There is a sharp crack as you dash the black-clad wizard's brains out. He falls to the ground lifeless. Just like that, Milius Blackclad, the would-be scourge of Kendrickstone, lies dead by your hand. There is nothing left to do but tie up the prisoners, burn the bodies, and begin the long, victorious trip home. Yeah! Emperor! All the achievements! All the fucking chiefs! Local hero, Hero of Kendrickstone. Fucking epilogue! No more than a week after the death of Milius Blackclad, the first merchant caravans of the spring reach Kendrickstone. Over the next few days, more follow as the news spread throughout the lands of the Concordat and into the Coriolandus and the Iron Marches. The roads to Kendrickstone are safe for trade once again. Over the next month, the city revives itself from the deep fugue that plagued it throughout the winter of the Bandit Siege. I'm all excited, I can't fucking read. I'm excited! Oh my god! Heart's going crazy. As wagons loaded with trade goods and food make their way through the city gates with increasing rapidity, the markets reopen and the price of necessities begins to fall, and the alehouses and inns are once again full of visiting merchants and travellers. At the end of the month, you receive another summons from the Duke to report to the keep. The guard room and courtyard of this massive fortress no longer seem as grey and chill as they did the last time you answered the Duke's summons. Some small part of it is that, with the progress of spring, the winter dead forest around you has finally sprouted into full green splendour. The smell of wild flowers and fresh grass is everywhere, accenting and sometimes even overpowering the now familiar stench of the city. Stinky city. More significant, though, is the return of colour to the cheeks of the men and women around you. Even the guards at the gates stand with renewed vigour, and the keep's soldiers and servants are quicker to laugh and more difficult to anger. The pall of grim fatalism, fuck, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling through this, has been replaced with the sparkle of renewed hope. The people of the city know full well that you were the one who brought down that hope to them, that you are the one to thank for their salvation from the bandits and their vengeful leader. Many are already calling you the finest adventurer the city has been blessed with in a generation. No small number are already referring to you by a new name, one they shout with enthusiasm every time you pass them by. The Hero of Kendrickstone. Woo! Oh fuck, that is some page. Come on, epilogue. This time you are not led into the claustrophobic council chamber, but the keep's vast stone-vaulted great hall. At the far end you see the Duke, clad in fur-trimmed mantle and a fine white robe emblazoned with the tower and chevron of Kendrickstone. He sits on an immense chair carved of some rich dark wood, its arms carved into the likenesses of snarling lions. Beside him stand those who joined you in that tense, fearful conference a month ago. Dame Mildred of Somermercy, her mail polished and surcoat freshly washed, Eisen of Coriolandus, once again in his court wizard robes, and William of Hallowford, clad in a red doublet and a silver mantle trimmed with ermine. All of them await you, straight-backed and proud, both their own roles in city's salvation for your accomplishments. They do not stand alone in this immense hall. Behind them, looking both awestruck and decidedly out of place, are the two farmers, Maud and Stephen, clad in which you must assume is their absolute best. To the side stands Sir Edmund, also in mail, accompanied by a lithe, red-headed girl of teenage years. His squire, perhaps? Oh, his woman. Go on, Sir Edmund. There are others too, knights, merchants, crafters, common soldiers, and even many of the city's minor nobles, all of them standing alongside the hall, leaving only a narrow aisle of clear floor in the middle. A liveried herald slams the butt of her staff against the floorboards as you step into the hall. Johnny Hero of Kendrickstone, squire to Dame Mildred of Somermercy, saviour of the city, she announces in booming tones. Woo! The cheers are so loud that you barely hear the Duke's command to approach. John Nero, brave adventurer, the old Duke begins, his voice so much stronger and more vital than it was a month ago. Kendrickstone's future is secure once again. Its markets recover and its people prosper. No more do the minions of a vengeful madman stalk the lands which surround our city. For your role in ridding our city of this great threat, the city owes you a great debt. The old man smiles. Today I would see that debt paid. First I would give you for a moment the power of judgment, namely, how to deal with those outlaws once in service to Milius Blackclad and who have been taken prisoner. Around you some of the onlookers inhale sharply, surprised. The right to sentence outlaws is one of the greatest powers a noble landholder has. By allowing you to exercise his power, the Duke is showing you a great deal of favour indeed. While the law would normally demand that all brigands hang, some of the prisoners have shown a great deal of contrition over the past few weeks, the Duke notes. Nod. Perhaps some of the captured bandits were finally coming to their senses after a few weeks without the influence of the magic circles. Some of these captors have begged for clemency, Duke Leofric continues. As the one who contributed the most to their capture, I leave the power to deny or give that mercy to you. How will you respond? Shit, man. If the law should stand, hang them all, let the prisoners repair the damage they've done with hard labour. Exile the bandits far from Kendrickstone, their actions are not their own, let them go. I think we can't just let them go. We can't just be like, I'm not going to hang them, because their actions were not their own, as we know. The magic circles were influencing them. But they should repair the damage they do. I think. Yes, that one. The Duke nods gravely. So be it. These outlaws captured shall be sentenced to 10 years of labour. There are many approving nods in the crowd, though there are also some angry whispers. After what the city has been through this past year, much of the population is out for blood, which your sentence has just denied them. However, the guilty will be set to helping the city they have bedeviled for so long. That placates many, if not all. Woo, bitches! With the sentencing taken care of, the Duke turns back to you. With that decision, I consider half of our debt to you repaid. Ah, bullshit. Now, as for the other half, I shall allow you to ask of this city one boon, and so long as it within the bounds of law and reason, I shall do all my power to grant it. There are so many things you could ask for. Duke Leofric, despite his age, is still an immensely powerful man. There is much he could offer you, and possible options race through your head as you consider the merits of each. After all, you can still only make one request. What will it be? I wish to be rewarded in gold, I wish for a house to call my own, I would like official position in the city, the knowledge that I've helped this city survive the road and fuck that. I would like an official position in the city. Yeah, we're gonna stop being a bard, we're gonna stop our adventuring. We're no longer a traveller, we're gonna settle in Kendrickstone, the city that we have come to love. Hell yeah. A few whispers and murmurs start up in the hall, but most are silent. Some, the smarter ones, begin nodding sagely. There are many benefits to a permanent job within the city's government: steady pay, official lodgings, safety and security, power and influence. The Duke turns to those at his sides. Have you any recommendations for a suitable post for our young hero? Dame Mildred steps forward. I do, she declares. Johnny Nero has not always proven to be the best squire, but he is young, promising, and undoubtedly skilled. I believe that he has what it takes to be made a Knight of Kendrickstone. The Duke's eyebrows raise. Are you sure? Few squires are ready for knighthood after half a dozen years. You would recommend it after less than one? Your knightly mistress hesitates for a moment, but then she nods. Yes, I would. Oh. The knighting ceremony is a long, involved thing. Normally it would be a private affair in a secluded chamber, performed after days or even weeks of preparation, with few in attendance save for the Duke and the new knight's former mentor. Oh, Qui-Gon! The ceremony, your ceremony, is different. The chamber is abuzz with the whispered voices of onlookers as you kneel before the Duke, their curious eyes boring to your back as the old nobleman begins the traditional ceremonial exchange. A supplicant stands before us, he intones, loud enough to fill the hall with the sound of his voice, seeking his knighthood. Who sponsors him? Dame Mildred steps forward. I do, she declares, in a voice just as loud. The Duke nods. Dame Mildred of Solomercy, do you judge the supplicant to be valiant in battle and skilled at arms? I do. Do you judge the supplicant to be strong of will and mighty of body? Dame Mildred gives her agreement. One last time. Do you judge the supplicant's heart to be loyal and just? One last time. The knight nods. Now the Duke turns to you. Will you swear to the truth of these answers Dame Mildred has given? I do. Yeah, fuck him. The Duke rises from his seat. So be it, he proclaims. Johnny Nero, in light of your skill, your strength, and your virtuous heart, I would have you as a vassal in my service, to be clad in mail and given horses to ride in my name. He extends his hand towards you. Do you accept? You take the hand. The old man, still remarkably strong despite his age, pulls you upright. Then from this moment onwards I name you a Knight of Kendrickstone. You can hear the cheers of those around you somewhat, but the rush of your own thoughts drowns them out. Being a knight means you'll have the right to appoint a retinue. You'll be given money to buy a warhorse, mail, and a helm. It's a lot to take in. After a few moments, the cheering fades away, as do your thoughts. Soon it is time to turn to other matters. The rest of the audience is mostly bookkeeping and administration. It passes in a blur. Arrangements are made to dispose of the remains of Milius Blackclad. Other plans are made as well. New initiatives. Keep the roads safe from future bandit incursion are proposed, dismissed, or noted for further consideration. The work of a government comes, shows itself, and goes, like a sparrow darting through the open windows of a cottage. Then the assembly is dismissed, and you step out, find a crowd. Apparently word has spread quickly. A sizable group of people stand outside, apparently waiting for you. Ragged cheers rise from the crowd as you descend the wide stone stairs from the keep into the courtyard. As the cheers fade away, another sound takes their place, that of a voice raised in song accompanied by a simple lute melody. Someone is singing a ballad, like the ones that praise the heroes of old, and they're singing it about you. Holy shit, look at this ballad. Are you ready? Let me sing you a tale of Johnny Nero, the brave, a young hero true, who came to our aid. From the west he came, from Forrester's Hollow, a sprightly young bard, adventure he followed. Attacked on the road by ebon-clad knaves, saved only by the grace of a passing knight's aid. He came to the city of red Kendrickstone, sworn to the night he made a new home. Oh my god. The months did pass, our hero made name by killing a great beast, and thus grew his fame. Over long and cold winter did come a terrible siege, an army of brigands which wizard did lead. In spring he followed a true hero's code, when he saved a knight from the thieves on the road. It was then the old duke finally gave his word, with our hero he planned to end the outlaw scourge. He marched into the forest with 12 knights at his back. The band could not face their mighty attack. Cunning and virtuous, let their hero be known as the best of our city, the hero of Kendrickstone. I apologise for that. I had to do it. I mean, if I'd have read it, it would have been boring, right? As the rest of this is, but you know. The cheers begin again as the last strains of the lute die away. Woo! The people of Kendrickstone are eager to celebrate the official acknowledgement of the city's newest hero. Well, today there will be cheering, more ballads, free drinks, and public congratulations. The people's way of rewarding you for your deeds. No, you're not going to get that much done today. As for tomorrow, well, you can only guess as to what tomorrow will bring. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Oh my god! Oh my god! Save your character for the next book. There's going to be another one. Oh my god! We did it! Fucking hell! Sir Johnny Nero, a young man of Kendrickstone, a knight of Kendrickstone, our ending thing. Even in Corlandis and Concordat they know your name. Some are calling you the greatest hero since Kendrick Giant Slayer himself. We ended with expert prowess, lackluster will, lackluster aptitude, average eloquence. We are not very compassionate, very pragmatic. We desire order over freedom. You carry with your cross staff. No, we went through the whole game with no weapons and no armor. But we are in very high spirits, full of confidence. Ah, that is fucking awesome. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the Hero of Kendrickstone. So sorry for the camera issue in this video. I don't understand why or what or why it would do that to me on the very last episode of the Hero of Kendrickstone. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed the series. I will leave a link in the video to the playlist, so go there, start that again, watch it through. Remember that we had camera problems in the first few episodes as well. Or not so much camera problems, but you know, like software recording issues and stuff where it was a bit blurry. So just put up with that, listen to the thing, put it in your headphones or something. I don't know. Listen to my beautiful voice narrate the Hero of Kendrickstone for you. Because yeah, you haven't got better things to do with your life. Anyway, yeah, as always, leave your comments down below. Feedback is always super appreciated, and leave a like and subscribe for more Johnny Nero stuff. And I will see you next time in the next video, and hopefully the camera won't break. So, thank you guys.